Hello again. This week I thought I'd talk about attack points because there is a super core orienteering skill. In fact, they're probably one you use already even if you don't realize it. So, what are attack points? Attack points are a really obvious point feature near a control, one that helps you guide you into the control. So every time you've gone, oh yeah, I'm going to go to that track junction, it's just behind it, you're actually using attack points. So when do we use attack points? We use them basically every orienteering leg. And the reason we use them is it just makes navigation that little bit easier. So rather than navigating to a control, a flag this big, you're looking for, a track junction that you can't miss, or a giant hilltop. So examples of attack points. If you have a really nice look at control 1 to 2, you've got that really obvious hilltop right there. And so as you're running the leg, all you need to do is see that hilltop and run and say, I'm going to go behind it. Other things you can use is spurs. There's a spur here. Or you could even use other features for different legs. Maybe you can use distinctive trees if they're visible and obvious, or clearings on a forest map, or track bends, contour feature, if there's a bend in a spur as well, use that by all means. The point is it has to be a distinctive point feature. So things I wouldn't use as attack points would be a feature that's easily missable. So maybe there's a knoll or there's a knoll or there's like one of several clearings. I'm looking for the right one. That's going to slow me down and spend time. Small cliffs and earth banks are also a classic example of a thing you might want to use as an attack point but wouldn't. So an example of like when you use an attack point again. 2 to 3, you're coming out to the track, going along the track. Use the track bend, it's big and obvious. I wouldn't use this earth bank here because it's less obvious, you might run past it. So yeah, the other thing you can do is you can build a combination of features to make a distinctive attack point rather than just one feature. So maybe your attack point is the third track bend, so you're using the other 2 track bends to build into the right one. Or maybe it's a distinctive tree on a spur where there's 5 distinct trees in the area, but only one of them's on a spur. So you can see that one and go, that's what I'm looking at, that's what I want from reasonably far away. So a similar technique to attack points, one that's definitely worth sort of discussing, is what we call stepping stones. So stepping stones are like mini attack points. They're point features that you check off on the way through your leg. So why do you use stepping stones? So use stepping stones to break down navigation if you've got a longer leg. You might break it down into bits. So I'm going to go from this stepping stone to this stepping stone. No, I'm going to go from this track to this track junction. That kind of thing. And it also acts as an early warning for mistakes being made on a longer leg, or just if mistakes being made. So if you're expecting to see a track junction is your stepping stone, and you don't, then you got wrong. If you're expecting to see, you're expecting to see a spur take a sharp turn to the right, and instead it turns to the left. That's a clear sign that either you have the map wrong, or that you're in the wrong place, or something is wrong. You need to slow down and stop and think. Another important thing to think about is that aren't stepping stones, a linear feature we're expecting to cross as we're running along. So a good example of these would be control 4 to 5. So up here. So you've got this super strong attack point right here, this track bend on the hillside, and that's going to stand out from a long way away. But you need to be able to see it first. So the stepping stones are things I'm looking at. I'm going to come over this ridge, and I want to do it fairly high up. So I'm going to be looking to see if I'm sort of in line with the rest of those trees there. So yeah, there's this ridge, this spur. Again, linear features not as good as stepping stones, a point feature. So I'm looking to see this edge at the top of the hills here. I'm going to use those to come over, and from there I should see my attack point. The other thing I'm going to think about is, am I running through this re-entrant? No, I'm going to go down into this re-entrant over a stream. Maybe the stream doesn't exist because it's been dry, but I'm definitely coming through a re-entrant. And I'm going to check that off even if I don't need to recognize exactly where I am because my attack point's super strong. So if I'm looking, I'm looking for this one, my stepping stone, and I come out too low, so I actually end up coming over the ridge here. Then I can go, hold up, this isn't my point feature, where are the trees? Oh, I must be too low or too high. I'm definitely not too high because I've just seen the trees as I run up. I must be too low. I can then come back up from there to my stepping stone and along and in. Anyway, I hope this video has been useful for you guys. I'm going to do more of these sort of technique videos. Of note though, next week I'm going to be away over the weekend because we're up in Auckland orienteering, and we'll be back on Tuesday. So the next video is probably going to be a little bit longer and a breakdown of several courses at once. So talking about the interesting bits and things I use over the weekend. So that's me for this week. See you guys next week. And if you have any things you'd like me to do differently, any changes. Maybe you want me to do more course breakdowns. You want the videos longer or shorter or whatever. I can certainly try and do that. So let me know either in the YouTube video comments, because I do check them. I don't think I've got any at the moment. Or on Facebook, or you can email Paul if you happen to have his email, or email me if you have my email. Anyway, that's this for this week, and I hope to see you guys next week.